two films. It's neither one of either, you know. So I said, I didn't want to use the word documentary, but I would rather watch a documentary than a concert film. So I talked to Steve. Now, Steve Cohen has been doing our light design since, I don't know, the Stone Age. When did you start? 74, 75?
1946.
Something like that.
Just after the war.
Yeah, when he came out on the road, we were playing, we were doing okay. All of a sudden, Steve comes out and he says, hey, he puts two light trees up. It looked like, you know, two crucified trees. And that was it. With three lights on each of them. All of a sudden, the entire show changed. And we looked at him, what the hell happened? This guy came with his lights. Changed everything. So he directed people where to look and what was going on. So, and he does the stage design too. So when you see a stage, he's actually done the design for what the stage looks like. So I trust him to come, follow through on what the vision should be for this piece, because he's been with me for a long time. And he knows what we're all about. And here's my directive was this. I don't really want to be the movie star. You're a movie star. You know how to make movies.
You're a movie star now, my friend, let me tell you. Pretty good movie.
I had years of just being an album cover, or I was on film. So I said, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. I don't want to be the movie star of the film. Make believe you're making the movie Jaws, and I'm the shark. And you know what happened with Spielberg in the movie, right? The dummy shark did not work well. So he had to work around this mechanical shark that didn't look good, it didn't eat good. And so Spielberg made it all about the anticipation of the shark, or the reaction to the shark, where you didn't even have to see the shark. It was brilliantly done. And I said, make believe I'm the shark and you're making Jaws. And it's all the ripple effect around me. And that was my direction.
One thing, I have just a couple quick questions. We're going to take questions from the audience because we ran a little bit late. But and one thing that comes to mind for me is that, I grew up on Long Island and come from a big family. None of my family is still on Long Island. I'm the only one who still lives here, Which I would have bet, we talked about this backstage, I would have bet $1 million that I would have been the last member of my family that would have stayed on Long Island when I was young. And used to live on Long Island. I was wondering why. What is it about living here that still appeals to you?
My perspective of things all come from a Long Island point of view. I realize that I've traveled all over the world. I traveled a lot in the United States. I wasn't really sure where I was going to end up, but the more I traveled, the more I felt like this is where I'm from. I'm from this island that sticks out to the east of New York City. There really isn't a lot of other places like Long Island. There's a little bit of it in Jersey, a little bit of it in New England, a little bit of it, but Long Island is an island. We're isolated from everything else. We're with each other. We all rub off on each other for better or worse. And that's what makes us Long Islanders. There's a little bit of an inferiority complex here, which I find charming. You go to the city, oh, you're from the island. We don't say Long Island. People from the Bronx say Long Island. We say Long Island. So,
the island, yes.
The island. We're from the island. Are you on the island?
I'm on the island.
What?
So people say to me, you live in Long Island? I'm like, no, I don't. They're like, wait a minute. I'm like, I live on Long Island.
That's right. Yeah, I was off the island for a while. So,
going up island.
Right. So, I didn't think I would end up here, but I moved to California, lived there for 3 years, and after 3 years, I said, I don't feel at home here. I'm in New York. In the 70s, I think they showed it in the movie, when New York was going down the tubes and everything was looking bad, and everybody in LA was saying, we hate New York. I said, I'm going back. That's where I'm from, and that's where I'm going back to. And I got a song out of it, which is New York State of Mind. Because New York City thinks it's about New York City, but it's not New York City of mind, it's New York State of mind.
Right. Now, a couple more quick things I want to ask, and we're going to take questions. Now, for me, I'm a divorced man, and I did a show here, and my ex-wife did not come see the show. I just want to say that on the record that my ex-wife did not buy a ticket and come to see the play that I did. But a woman you were married to is, Christy, are you there? Raise your hand. Is she here? She's very beautiful. And I remember sitting in backstage, he would be in a concert we were doing. He did this benefit once in Bridgehampton. This is years ago. This is like, I don't know how many years ago it was, Christy, like 10 years ago or something. And Billy would play, and he wasn't married to her anymore. And he's playing the piano, and he's going, bum, 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 bum. Hey, Christy, where was I when I wrote the song? Where were we? What hotel were we in? Bum, 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 bum. The blah, blah, blah in London. Bum, bum, bum. 20 minutes later, Christy, where were we when I wrote this song? Bum, 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 bum. You know, so you have a great relationship with her, and she's the mother of your daughter. Do you, when you see this movie, you see your whole life go by? I mean, up till now, you have your whole life. You see your life thus far go by. Is that, no, but this film, I mean, I was like crying in the back because it's like, this is your life. And you see your life, I mean, very personal. How does it make you feel when you watch a movie that's really plays out your whole life like that? Does it get to you?
Yeah, I kind of get drained when I watch it. I took a break while you guys were watching the movie. I went to the pond, grabbed some because I've seen it twice, but like twice, I get a little bit drained. The blend affects you. Yeah, whatever the word is. Christy, did you pay for the ticket? I think I got asked.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask one more question because I want you guys to ask questions. We're not going to have them up here that many times, believe me. We want to take advantage of it. And I also want to say, I mean, and I get kind of choked up when I say this, if it's true. I mean, you are one of the most talented musicians that ever lived. I mean, you are. You know, you are there with all those people who are the greatest singer-songwriters, musical talents, Sinatra, Stevie Wonder, the Beatles, those people. I mean, you're so talented. And when you watch this movie, you could have been an actor. I mean, you are funny. Who the fuck are you kidding that you don't think you're a movie star? You could have your own TV show. You could have one. You never wanted to act in movies, ever?
I think I could have.
Yes, you could have.
But had I wanted to do that, had my heart been set on being an actor, yes, I would have studied acting.
You could have fun with that.
I think I would have thrown myself into it 100%, absolutely. But I started in music earlier, and that's where I wanted to go. But I could have gone into acting.
Yeah, you would have been great. We're going to take some questions.
Wait, I have to pay him a compliment first.
No.
Yes,
correct. I'll tell you why. This guy is a terrific actor, and I'll tell you why. He has survived. There it is. I put out, like a dog song here and there, an album, maybe it was a turkey. I saw a movie about 3 nights ago. I'm going to check with you because I'm not sure it was you, but I went to prove. And you survived this movie and flourished in a career. Were you in like a weird Alamo movie?
Yeah. Really bad. For NBC. It was bad.
Terrible.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
The Mexicans all look like
it was James Arness.
Alamo.
James Arness played the part.
It was really bad.
It was so bad.
and you survived.
Billy Joel, everybody!
But that's a big deal.
But this is another line. I called him up one time. He's down in Florida. I call him up and I go, let me ask you a question. A friend of mine who just craves, was a young girl, it was my daughter's friend, and she's a musician. And she said, she's like 14 years old now. This is 4 or 5 years ago. She's a young kid, obsessed with music, and she goes, I love Billy Joel's music, and goes on YouTube like all these kids do. And she goes, I want to get a compilation. She goes, what would be the best, greatest hits album I could get of his music? So I call him on the phone. And he's out of Florida, and I go, my daughter's friend would like to know, what do you think is the best compilation? What would you say? I want to be able to call her and say, Billy himself told me at the greatest compilation. Billy goes, you want to buy our greatest hits album? He goes, how would you like it if people just watch clips of your movies? They put it on DVD, clips of your movies. He goes, tell her to buy the goddamn album. He goes, you can afford it, you buy her all the album. And I was like, he's right. He's right.
I did offer you to send you the whole catalog.
We're going to take some questions. Who has a question? They're right in the front, ladies. Stand up.
Speak loud. Hi. First, I want to thank you for enriching our lives with all of your wonderful music.
And I want to know, are you still writing and are you going to be recording soon?
Thank you. I am writing, but I'm not writing songs. I'm not writing pop music. I'm not writing rock and roll. I'm writing thematic music. It's instrumental music. It's pure music to me. That's what I'm interested in now. It's a more abstract kind of music. I got tired of writing songs. I started to feel closed in. I felt kind of encumbered by the song form. I know I could have expanded it, maybe I could change it, and I don't have to stay within the framework of songs per se, or the way people know them to be, but I wanted to write a completely different kind of music, and that's really kind of what I've been doing for the last few years. To no particular end. I mean, some of this stuff could end up being a movie score, it could end up being symphonic music, and Alec, I know you're a big supporter of the New York Philharmonic. And I'm a fan of that music too. I love classical music. I listened to the Beethoven symphonies about 15 years ago, and it killed me. I felt insignificant, puny, and like I was back to the embryo. I listened to Beethoven's 9 symphonies. I went, "Are you kidding? I haven't done anything."
Right.
And but I went back to the drawing board, and I said, not that I'm going to write a symphony like Beethoven did, but that's the kind of music I like: instrumental music, thematic music, symphonic music. So
I just want to say, by the way, if Beethoven were alive today, he'd be home crying, going, "I can't sing like Billy Joel."
Right.
It goes both ways, quite frankly. Over here, Yusuf, stand up. Loud.
Billy,
Yes.
talk a bit more about the McCartney experience. I mean, that just, you guys met backstage, you knew he was coming. Can you talk a little bit more about seeing him in the flesh in that whole moment?
I know Paul from actually